The United Kingdom has quietly declared a war, but not one fought with soldiers or tanks. This is a war of policy, of paperwork, and of percentages, waged against the very people it once claimed to welcome. It's a war on ambition, specifically targeting the hopes of students and skilled workers from key nations around the globe. The latest Home Office data isn't just a report, it's a battle plan. It reveals the shocking effectiveness of a new strategy designed to systematically reject and deter millions of applicants, with Indian and Nigerian nationals finding themselves on the front lines of this crackdown. Why are these two powerhouse nations bearing the brunt of the impact? The answer is hidden in the details of the UK's new rulebook, a set of policies so cleverly designed they can achieve their goal without ever naming a single country. Stick with me because we are about to expose the weapons being used in this war and reveal the new reality of who gets in and who gets locked out of the UK in 2025. Before we dive into the evidence, I want to thank you for being here. This is crucial information, so please give this video a thumbs up so YouTube's algorithm shows it to more people who need to see it. Share it with friends and family who are considering a future in the UK. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You know we don't shy away from the hard truths here. If you're new, click that subscribe button right now because you won't find this level of analysis anywhere else. So, let's set the stage. For years, the UK government has been under immense political pressure to cut its net migration figures. This has become their single most important objective. To achieve this, they have launched a multi-front assault on the immigration system. The primary casualties of this new campaign are, by design, the largest groups of applicants, skilled workers and students, with Indian and Nigerian citizens being the top two nationalities in both of these categories. The government knew that to make a real dent in the numbers, they had to find a way to turn off the tap from these two countries. But how do you do that without facing accusations of discrimination? You don't build a wall. You build a maze of rules so complex and so demanding that only a fraction of the people who enter will ever find their way through. Let's examine the first front in this war, the attack on skilled workers. The primary weapon deployed here is the salary threshold. In April 2024, the government detonated a financial bomb on this route, raising the minimum salary required for a skilled worker visa from a manageable £26,200 to a staggering £38,700. On the surface, this sounds like a policy to attract high-quality talent, but in reality, it is a ruthlessly effective filter. This policy was precision engineered to disqualify a huge portion of applicants from countries like India and Nigeria. Think about it. A talented software developer, a skilled marketing professional, or a brilliant engineer from Bangalore or Lagos might be offered a job in Manchester or Birmingham for £32,000, a fantastic salary by any reasonable standard. Before 2024, that person was a prime candidate for a UK visa. Today, they are an automatic rejection. The government is fully aware that salary scales in India and Nigeria, while producing world-class talent, are different from those in London's financial district. By setting the bar so high, they effectively price out hundreds of thousands of qualified professionals. It's a class-based barrier that functions as a nationality-based barrier in disguise. It allows the Home Office to reject a candidate from India, not because of their nationality, but because their perfectly good job offer is now deemed too low. This single rule change has done more to block skilled workers from these nations than any overt ban ever could. It's a quiet, bureaucratic, and devastatingly effective weapon. And the changes don't stop there. Further increases to the salary threshold have been implemented, making it even harder for skilled workers to qualify. Now, let's move to the second front, the war on students. For years, the UK's world-class universities have been a beacon for Indian and Nigerian students. They came in huge numbers, not just for the education but for the opportunity to build a better life. The government saw these numbers, particularly the number of dependent spouses and children who came with them, and they identified a target. Their weapon of choice? The family blockade. In January 2024, they banned the vast majority of international students from bringing their dependents. Only those on specific postgraduate research courses, a tiny fraction of the total, were exempt. This wasn't a minor tweak. It was a strategic masterstroke aimed directly at the demographic profile of many students from India and Nigeria. Unlike younger students from Europe or America, a significant portion of postgraduate students from these countries are in their late 20s or 30s. They are often married with young children. They are established professionals who are taking a career break to upskill. For them, studying abroad is a family decision, a shared sacrifice, and a collective project. The idea of leaving their spouse and children behind for 1 or 2 years is simply not an option. By banning dependents, the UK government made the decision for them. The data proves the surgical precision of this attack. The number of main student applicants from India and Nigeria has seen a significant drop, and the number of dependent applications has crashed. Recent statistics show a 14% overall drop in sponsored study visas in 2024, with sharper declines for Nigerian and Indian students. They didn't stop the desire to study, but they successfully filtered out the students with families who made up a huge part of the cohort they wanted to reduce. Adding to this, the government is also cracking down on what they term low-value degrees by giving the Office for Students the power to impose recruitment limits on courses with high dropout rates or poor graduate employment outcomes. This, coupled with a reduction in fees for foundation years, is presented as a move to enhance the quality of education, but also serves to narrow the educational pathways available to international students. Finally, we come to the most brutal battlefield of all: the complete annihilation of the health and care worker route for new overseas applicants. This was perhaps the most cynical chapter in this entire saga. First, the UK government sent out a global distress signal, begging for care workers to come and save its struggling social care sector. Hundreds of thousands, a huge number of them from India and Nigeria, answered the call. They were promised a future in the UK. Then, once the numbers reached a political tipping point, the betrayal came. The government didn't just tweak the rules, they carpet-bombed the entire route. First, they banned care workers from bringing dependents, using the same tactic as they did with students, a change that took effect on March 11, 2024. Then, they went further, announcing a complete halt to overseas applications for care roles for new applicants. The door that was once wide open was slammed shut and bolted. The numbers are breathtaking. From a peak of over 18,000 main applicants in a single month, the numbers have collapsed by over 90% to just over 1,000. This route, which represented a genuine lifeline for so many hard-working individuals from India and Nigeria, has been effectively erased from the map for new applicants. So when you piece it all together, the picture becomes terrifyingly clear. This is not a series of isolated policy changes. This is a coordinated, multi-front war on the aspirations of skilled workers and students, with the rules of engagement specifically designed to cause maximum impact on the largest applicant pools from India and Nigeria. The weapons are not guns but salary thresholds, dependent bans, and route closures. The rejections are not personal, they are systemic. The UK has engineered a system where millions of dreams are now being rejected by default. The message is clear. The drawbridge has been pulled up. For those navigating this new landscape, you must understand that you are no longer just an applicant. You are a combatant on a battlefield of bureaucracy, and you need to be more strategic and more informed than ever before. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is heavy, but it's the reality we now face. I want to hear what you think in the comments. How have these changes affected you or someone you know? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. Until next time, stay informed and stay resilient.